It was July 1st, 1898, during the Spanish-American War, and American forces under Colonel Theodore Roosevelt were assaulting the heavily defended San Juan Hill in Cuba. But the advance was stalled by withering Spanish rifle fire. That's when Lieutenant John Parker and his men brought up 4 Gatling guns, cranking them to life and unleashing a hail of bullets at 600 rounds per minute.
The devastating barrage tore through the enemy lines, allowing the Rough Riders to charge and capture the hill. The Gatlings had turned the tide of battle. The Gatling guns were well on their way to becoming the unstoppable machine guns. Join Hardcore History as we explore the world of weaponry with cinematic short documentaries featuring the most innovative and deadly guns ever built, top secret military projects, and classified missions with hidden, untold true stories, including US, European, and Asian firearms, along with developments that took place during the Civil War, World Wars, the Cold War, and modern conflicts.
As images and footage of actual events are not always available, Hardcore History sometimes utilizes similar historical images and footage for dramatic effect and soundtracks for emotional impact. We do our best to keep it as visually accurate as possible. All content on Hardcore History is researched, produced, and presented in historical context for educational purposes only. We are history enthusiasts and are not always experts in some areas, so please don't hesitate to reach out to us with corrections, additional information, or new ideas.
It was July 1st, 1898, during the Spanish-American War, and American forces under Colonel Theodore Roosevelt were assaulting the heavily defended San Juan Hill in Cuba. But the advance was stalled by withering Spanish rifle fire. That's when Lieutenant John Parker and his men brought up 4 Gatling guns, cranking them to life and unleashing a hail of bullets at 600 rounds per minute. Without hesitating, the guns poured fire into the enemy positions with devastating consequences. The Gatling guns were well on their way to becoming the unstoppable machine guns. Destiny calls. Richard Jordan Gatling was born in 1818 in Hertford County, North Carolina, to a family of farmers and inventors. He showed early talent for invention, patenting a seed planting machine at age 19 that revolutionized agriculture. Gatling trained as a doctor but continued inventing, creating devices like a wheat drill and a steam plow. The outbreak of the American Civil War in 1861 inspired him to turn his mind to weaponry. Horrified by the high casualties from disease and battle, Gatling believed a rapid-fire gun could reduce the number of soldiers needed, potentially shortening wars and saving lives. Drawing on his mechanical expertise, he developed the first practical machine gun, patenting it on November 4th, 1862. Impressive specs. The original Gatling gun featured 6 rotating barrels with a total length of about 50 inches and a weight of around 200 pounds, including the carriage. It fired .58 caliber cartridges, later models using .45-70 or other calibers. Operated by a hand crank, it could achieve a rate of fire up to 200 rounds per minute in early versions, with later improvements reaching 600 to 1,200 rounds per minute. The gun was mounted on a wheeled carriage for mobility, requiring a crew of 4, 1 to crank, 1 to feed ammunition, and 2 to aim and maneuver. Its range was effective up to 1,200 yards, making it ideal for suppressing enemy advances. Lethal firepower. The Gatling's revolutionary design used multiple barrels to allow sustained fire without overheating. As the crank turned, each barrel loaded, fired, and ejected in sequence, gravity-fed from a hopper or magazine. This provided a continuous stream of bullets, far surpassing single-shot rifles of the era. In battle, a few seconds of fire could unleash hundreds of rounds, mowing down charging infantry or cavalry. Against fortifications or massed troops, the Gatling was devastating, earning it the nickname "coffee mill gun" from its crank handle resemblance.
It was one of the first weapons to introduce true rapid-fire capability to warfare. Too heavy. Despite its firepower, the Gatling had drawbacks. It was extremely heavy and cumbersome, requiring horses or multiple men to transport over rough terrain. Early models were prone to jamming if not properly maintained, especially with black powder ammunition.
The hand-cranked operation meant the rate of fire depended on the operator's strength and endurance. Moreover, it consumed ammunition rapidly, straining logistics in prolonged engagements. Still, these issues didn't stop the Gatling from being adapted for various roles, including naval use. Gatling variants. The first production model in 1865 featured 6 barrels and was adapted by the U.S. Army in 1866. The 1866 model improved reliability and was produced by Colt, with options for 10 barrels. The camel gun was a lighter version for mounted use, with shorter barrels and reduced weight. The bulldog variant had even shorter barrels for close-quarters defense. Naval versions were mounted on ships, and experimental electric-driven models appeared in the 1890s. By the late 19th century, calibers varied from .3 to 1 inch for anti-torpedo boat rolls. Famous battles. Though invented during the Civil War, the Gatling saw limited use, mainly in trials at Petersburg in 1864. It gained fame in the Indian Wars, used against Native American tribes like the Sioux at Rosebud in 1876. In the Spanish-American War, Gatlings at San Juan Hill provided crucial support for the American charge. British forces employed them in colonial conflicts, such as the Anglo-Zulu War in 1879 at Ulundi. Russian and Japanese armies also adopted them, with notable use in the Russo-Japanese War. Foreign use. The Gatling was exported widely, with Britain using it in Africa and Asia to expand their empire. France tested it but preferred their own designs, while Germany and Russia incorporated it into their arsenals. In South America, Peru used Gatling guns during the War of the Pacific against Chile. After the World Wars, surplus Gatlings found their way to various militaries and even revolutionaries. Legacy. The Gatling's multi-barrel concept faded with automatic machine guns like the Maxim in the 1880s, but it was revived in the 20th century with powered versions, leading to the M134 minigun used in Vietnam. Today, the Vulcan cannon and GAU-8 on the A-10 Warthog trace their lineage back to Gatling's invention. The Gatling gun forever changed warfare, introducing the era of rapid-fire weapons. Thank you for watching our video. Please like and subscribe to our Hardcore History channel to find more exciting historical content. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified of our newest videos. Stay tuned.